Hello and welcome to 4i Audio AI Morning Mix. I'm Raina. Today is Friday, February 6th. Quick roadmap. We'll start with major product launches from OpenAI, NVIDIA, and Anthropic, then cover big funding and infrastructure moves, a few policy and supply updates, and finish with a speed round of short items. Jesse is here to help unpack what this all means for knowledge workers and teams. Ready?
Ready. Let's get into it.
OpenAI reported on February 5th that it released GPT 5.3 Codex on the company blog. Jesse, in one sentence, what is this?
GPT 5.3 Codex is a new Codex model that combines advanced coding, reasoning, and agentic computer use capabilities, and OpenAI says it's about 25% faster than prior versions.
Quick context. OpenAI also said it integrated the model into the Codex app to steer long-running tasks and flagged new cybersecurity safeguards. Why does that matter for people who write code or run workflows?
Two big things. One, agentic features let the model manage multi-step terminal, editor, and orchestration tasks, so it can run longer workflows with state and control. Two, the speed and benchmark wins. OpenAI cites state-of-the-art results on developer and agentic benchmarks, translate to less waiting and more reliable automation for day-to-day engineering work.
One sentence takeaway?
If you're a knowledge worker who spends time stitching tools together, expect faster, more capable copilots that can execute longer tasks. But watch for the new cybersecurity guardrails and integration details before you hit deploy.
NVIDIA announced the Rubin platform on February 6th in a company press release. Jesse, what did they reveal?
NVIDIA introduced Rubin, branded around Vera Rubin chips and Rubin-based systems, as a full ecosystem for next-generation AI training and inference, with Rubin in production and partner shipments expected in the second half of the year.
They also mentioned cloud partnerships and edge modules, right?
Yes. NVIDIA laid out partnerships with major cloud providers, system vendors, and software stacks, plus orchestration tooling called OSMO, and new Jetson and IGX modules aimed at running larger models on edge devices and robots.
Why it matters. Short version?
Big picture. Rubin signals another infrastructure cycle where vendors push optimized stacks end-to-end, which accelerates model scale and makes deployment across cloud, data center, and edge more turnkey for enterprises.
Reuters reported on February 5th that Anthropic released Claude Opus 4.6. Jesse, what's new?
Claude Opus 4.6 adds a 1 million token context window, parallel agent teams, and improvements for coding, finance, and long-running tasks. And Anthropic says it ran extensive safety and cybersecurity testing.
One sentence takeaway.
Long context plus agentic primitives make it practical to hand the model more complex, stateful workflows, which raises productivity, but also heightens the need for access controls and evaluation.
TechCrunch reported on February 5th that a company called Fundamental emerged from stealth with $255 million in funding. Jesse, explain the headline and what the company does.
Fundamental raised $255 million in a round, reported as a $225 million Series A plus additional capital, valuing the company at about $1.2 billion.
Give one context sentence about the product, since it's a big raise.
Fundamental is building Nexus, a large tabular model designed to analyze very large structured data sets. Think enterprise analytics, finance, and healthcare tables. And it also announced a strategic partnership to deploy Nexus on Amazon Web Services.
Why should listeners care?
If your work lives in spreadsheets, databases, or data warehouses, models tuned for tabular data could meaningfully speed analysis and model-driven decisioning across teams.
Reuters reported on February 4th that ElevenLabs raised $500 million in a Series D, valuing the business at about $11 billion. Jesse, what is ElevenLabs and why the big round?
ElevenLabs is a voice AI company that builds conversational and emotional voice models, and the company reported roughly $330 million in annual recurring revenue for 2025.
One context sentence about the product and market per the funding guideline.
They sell advanced text-to-speech and voice customization tools used in media, customer service, and developer APIs, aiming to scale voice as a native interface.
Takeaway?
This round signals continued investor appetite for voice as a platform and should accelerate ElevenLabs' international expansion and emotional voice research.
Reuters reported on February 4th that Alphabet told investors it expects $175 to $185 billion in capital expenditures for 2026. Jesse, what's in that number?
Alphabet said the guidance is to scale AI compute, data centers, and networking to support its Gemini models and cloud AI growth. The figure sent ripples through the market and reflects heavy infrastructure investment.
Why it matters for the rest of the industry.
Large CapEx commitments like this pull forward demand for hardware, services, and talent, and they shape cloud pricing and availability over the next few years. It's an infrastructure bet on AI being central to their business.
The Financial Times reported via Reuters on February 4th that shipments of NVIDIA H200 GPUs to China are in limbo because a U.S. interagency national security review has not finalized licensing terms. Jesse, what's the situation?
Despite earlier approvals, customers in China are reluctant to convert approvals into orders, while the review and license terms remain unresolved, which is delaying deployments and depressing near-term demand for high-end accelerators.
One sentence on implications.
This kind of regulatory uncertainty can slow global rollouts, push customers toward alternative suppliers, and reshape where and how large models get trained.
TechRadar reported on February 4th that Sam Altman spoke at the Cisco AI Summit and urged companies to adopt AI workers quickly. Jesse, what did he emphasize?
Altman said firms must integrate AI workers or risk falling behind, warned adoption will take effort and carry risk, pointed to supply chain disruption and global destabilization as headwinds, and called the new Codex app another ChatGPT moment.
A short takeaway?
His message is blunt. The pace of AI capability gains makes adoption a strategic imperative for many organizations, but it also raises governance and operational challenges.
Speed round. 5 quick items. First, NVIDIA gaming GPU refresh delay.
The Verge reported on February 6th that NVIDIA has delayed its RTX 50 Super refresh to prioritize AI chip production, which could push back gaming GPU timelines as memory and components get reallocated.
Next, OpenAI Frontier Enterprise Platform.
Axios reported on February 5th that OpenAI unveiled Frontier, an enterprise platform for deploying and managing AI agents with early customers like Intuit and Uber. It centralizes memory, permissions, and evaluation tools.
Next, OpenAI restores a thinking setting.
OpenAI's model release notes, posted on February 4th, say they restored the extended thinking time level for GPT 5.2 thinking after an inadvertent reduction in January. They're periodically tuning thinking defaults.
Next, Anthropic models added to Bedrock Japan region.
Documentation updates on February 5th show Claude Sonnet 4.5 and Claude Haiku 4.5 listed in AWS Bedrock's Japan region, offering larger context windows and tool calling for regional users.
Last, Moltbook reaction.
Coverage on February 5th noted Andrei Karpathy called Moltbook incredible sci-fi takeoff adjacent, while researchers flagged early security issues as the AI agent social site grows.
Quick recap. Today's big themes: faster, more agentic models from OpenAI and Anthropic, infrastructure moves from NVIDIA and Alphabet, large raises for specialized AI firms, and continued friction in hardware exports.
If you take one thing away, the tempo of product and infrastructure advances means tools will keep shifting from experimental to mission-critical. Plan for integration, governance, and change management sooner rather than later.
If you found this useful, share it with a friend or a colleague who lives in the world of AI tools and workflows. We'll be back tomorrow with more. I'm Raina.
And I'm Jesse. Thanks for listening to 4i Audio AI Morning Mix. See you next time.